What's up, YouTube? T Movies here. Now, I pretty much just finished up all 13 episodes of 13 Reasons Why. Now, 13 Reasons Why is, of course, based on a popular book series, and the series is, the show is very controversial. Like, it was so controversial that season one, where one of the episodes of season one, where the character of Hannah Baker is in the bathtub, slaying her wrist, which was pretty gruesome, I gotta say. When she of course did that, they actually Netflix of course made the decision to cut that scene out. So yeah, they decided to edit that scene like about 2 years after they finished filming it, which I never know if they could do that. But anyway, now so season three of 13 Reasons Why doesn't really that much have to do with Hannah Baker. Like, Hannah Baker does play a part in this, but not as much. But not as much as she was in the first two seasons. Like, she has a bit of a presence, but you don't really see Catherine Langford, physically here. Like, Catherine Langford doesn't make an appearance. I mean, she didn't even make an appearance in Avengers Endgame after all. So yeah, but that's different. That's a topic for another day. Anyway, so yeah, this time of 13 Reasons Why season three, you this time the main villain Bryce Walker, who's kind of a douchebag, if you will. Like, he was the one who, of course, he of course was the one who ended up raping Hannah Baker and raped a lot of the other girls. So he's kind of a he's kind of the main villain in the show, and it's not that much of a likable guy. But I will say one thing: the actor playing Bryce, the actor's name is Justin Prentice. I'll tell you right now, I'll nominate this actor for an Emmy nomination, because I'm not gonna lie, he was actually that good in this. I thought he gave a really great performance as Bryce. I mean, even though the character isn't likable, the actor who playing the role plays that douchey role really well, and I thought he nailed it every time he's on, like when he is on screen, obviously, because he's mainly on screen during flashbacks. So when he's on screen during flashbacks, I thought he nailed it every time. Justin really, I don't know much about. I can't really comment on the book, so I don't really know how different the character Bryce is from the books or anything. It's because I never read the books, so I cannot comment on the books themselves. But man, I thought Justin he nailed it as that role, and actually all the cast really nailed it. Anyway, now let me get on to the show, to the review for the show now. Now, I was going to do like a recap of every episode, but to be honest, I didn't feel like to do that. So I'm just going to do a full-on review of what I saw and all. So now, in season three, it ends up opening up with where it ends up being narrated by this new student named Ani, played by Grace Saif, who ends up coming in town and yep. And she is like employed by Bryce's mother. Her and her mother are actually employed by Bryce's mother-in-law. And by the way, Bryce's mother is played by Bryce's mother is of course played wonderfully by Brenda Strong. I always keep calling her Brenda Strong from Sweet Life, but her name is Brenda Strong. So anyway, and so the whole show is really like told to pretty much narration by Amano, and Ame also develops a relation, like a friendship, and they try to develop a relationship as well between her and Clay. And I mean, everyone in the show could easily be a suspect. It could of course, Clay could of course be a suspect. Jess could be a suspect. Zach. I mean, You know, everyone's a suspect. Scream reference, by the way. Shout out to my horror fans if you guys got that reference. But anyway, yeah, everyone's pretty much a suspect in this. And yeah, this show, the whole season really got intense. I mean, this show also dealt with, it dealt with a lot of crazy stuff here. Like, this season of Dirt 2 Reasons Why ended up dealing with immigration. It ended up dealing with, it did deal with suicide a little bit, but not as hard heavy as the first two seasons did. They also talked about sexual assault. I mean, they went in or out with this season. And it's a good show, but man, it could get a little depressing at times, and it could get a little, the show could also get really intense as well. But my God, the performances on the show are nonstop. I thought everyone on the show was just, I thought they were all great. And now one of the producers on the show, by the way, is Selena Gomez, who I think she's like one of the executive producers. And one of the other producers is Tom McCarthy, who's of course filmed Spotlight, won an Oscar for Best Picture. So yeah, so it has some really, so it has some pretty good people behind it. And man, this season really was great. And the cast also were great. You had Christian Navarro, who of course plays Tony Padilla. I'll be down to see a spin-off of that guy because his storyline was really great. Like, there's a storyline where Bryce's family ends up calling the immigration police on his family, and his family ends up getting deported because of Bryce's family. I thought that storyline was nuts. And Tony is also trying to continue his relationship with his boyfriend, but I thought they have a great chemistry. The one who plays Tony's boyfriend, I can't remember the actor's name. I thought those two had great chemistry on screen. I really, thought they were great, and their interaction with each other was pretty good. And also you got Alicia Bose's character Jess, who's kind of one of the heads of a sexual assault rally at her school and all, and because of course if you guys remember, she was also a victim of what Bryce Walker did to her, and so they're pretty much trying to protest, and they decide to try to go to they protest at crazy events. Like, they end up protesting at a homecoming dance. They end up protesting at Bryce's funeral. I mean, these girls did not play. And also, one of the leads named Beck Taylor Class, who plays one of the support group girls. I know she was a scene stealer in her part. I really like the Beck Taylor Class character. And so, you also got Devin Drude, who of course plays the role of Devin Downs, who, if you guys remember, last season, the last season of Dirty Reasons Why, Tyler wanted to pretty much attempt to kill his former classmates, if you guys remember last season. And of course, thankfully, his friends and all stopped him, and no one, he didn't go out with his plans last season. So thank God for that. And also with the sexual assault thing, this is also part of the Me Too. This is a great one for the Me Too era, obviously. And man, this third season really, this season also unveils the about this show also features Bryce's dysfunctional family as well. He's he's also part he also comes from an abusive household. Like his mother's not like his mother doesn't really want much to do with him at times. His dad's kind of a dick. Uh, he does have a grandfather who sadly is dying throughout the season, and even the grandfather is kind of a racist prick and all. And not to mention, he also shows about Bryce's drug abuse, depression, sexuality. Not sexuality. You know, I mean, it does have a feature like people dealing with sexuality, but it wasn't Bryce. But anyway, and the Bryce character, I'm never really sure if I should like the guy or not like the guy. Because obviously you should not like the Bryce guy because he's done some not so good stuff to people. Are there two reasons why? But there are times where he actually is a caring guy, like where one of the character Justin, he's like the character Justin is like a drug addict. So he like owes this hippie loads of money, and there's like pretty much a scene like a moment where Bryce ends up really helping out and paying the guy off and all. So I thought that kind of was a really nice moment for him. And then he also then one of the kid acted like characters in this who ended up getting sexually assaulted. Bryce finds a guy who sexually assaulted him, and he ends up draining the guy, and kind of pretty much protecting the kid as well. So the Bryce character he's a rapist, and he's done some menacing, horrible stuff. But there are times where he actually have became a little likable, you know. But of course, throughout the show, like everyone ends up being a suspect, including Clay. Of course, ends up being a suspect. Like if you guys have seen the trailer, you guys know that Clay ended up getting arrested, really. But I'm not going to go through any details of that or because this is a spoiler-free review. So I mean, it is a little hard to review this without spoiling anything, but I'm going to try my best not to spoil nothing because I don't want to give nothing away because, I mean, who knows? There will probably be some people who haven't even seen the show, seen the season yet, so, yeah, but then it also had like it also did end it off with a cliffhanger, like, episode 13 did end it up with a cliffhanger, so, yeah, well, of course we know season 4 is coming next year, which is going to be the final season. So, yeah, that's pretty much, the last season ends up leading up to season 4. And, yeah, it was a really good 13 episodes. I mean, it did have a crazy twist. The person who ended up killing Bryce, I really didn't see that one coming, to be honest with you, because, yeah. That was a really crazy twist that I did not at all see coming. But yeah, this season was, I thought was really decent. Great performances by all the cast. It had some really great writing. Some I already said performances. The story, lots of the character storylines was great. I mean, I like how they developed the characters really well. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, I love when shows, end up developing characters well, and that's pretty much what they did with this, where they develop like the character and who like talk about who the characters are, and I really like that. And I feel like we didn't really get much of Bryce's backstory in the first 2 seasons, so I like how they talk more about his family and more about his backstory as well. So I found that too pretty decent too. So yeah, I mean this is. I mean, yeah, season 3 I thought was a really decent season, and I'm really looking forward to see where No, I am also looking forward to see where season 4 is going to go. So, season 4 will be premiere on Netflix next year. So, I'm definitely keeping my eye out for that when that premieres. But let me leave you guys. What did you thought of season 3 of 13 Reasons Why? Did you like the season? Have you, since the show premiered, have you been a fan of the show? And are you going to watch season 4 when that ends up premiering? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is T-Movies signing off.